Good morning. Excuse me, folks. Good morning. Excuse me, folks. And welcome. And welcome. And welcome. Where is that music coming from? Where is that music coming from? Or is that my heart beating? Where is that music coming from? Or is that my heart beating? If somebody gets on, let me know how that sounds. I'm not sure if something's wrong today or not. Well, howdy, Uncle.
What's going on there, Coon?
I was, you want to know the truth, I was blowing my nose. What are you doing today?
Well, don't know yet. Trying to get ready to go to Kentucky and Ohio.
When is that? Next week?
The kids are all going up. The whole family's going up on the mountain camping today. They're liable to get a little wet. Looks to me like so.
When are you guys leaving? Tomorrow?
When are we leaving? Tuesday? Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
The 5th.
That might be good. You might miss some of the traffic.
Yeah, that was the plan. And the fares were cheaper, if you waited till after the 4th. So
I'm sure probably less likely to get canceled too.
Yeah.
The way things are going. I heard this morning on the news that Delta, I think it was Delta, offered some passengers somewhere, and I don't know where they were, $10,000 to take another flight.
Really?
Yeah. Why does that never happen to me?
I've been bumped on flights, but it was never my choice. They told me they'd give me a $50 Motel 6 room or something, and
yeah, that's pretty much what you get.
But
every once in a while they'll do that. I mean, I've had them offer a couple $100 to do it, but I've never. I mean, I know of people who have. I don't think we have. Good morning, Miss Brenda. We never got anything like that, did we? That night we stayed in the airport almost all night. We didn't get They didn't give us anything, did they? I don't think they did. We went to Florida one time with the kids, and we flew down and we sat in Knoxville Airport for almost all night. Good morning, Ian.
Hey, Ian.
Still driving to work.
Yeah.
Be careful driving and texting. I'd hate for the cops to find your phone or something and see the last thing you did was talk to me. I'd feel bad about that. So how you got? Are you finally child free and?
No, we got kids this weekend. Sean and I are gonna, and the other grandpa gonna go up and watch. We're gonna keep kids kicked in line while the kids go on a hike. Their parents go on a hike. We're gonna keep the little ones. So,
are you guys going up there?
Yeah, tomorrow. We're not going up to stay tonight, but we'll just drive up
When
in
you
the
say
morning.
go to the mountains, where do you go to the mountains?
Just up here north of the house where we hunt.
Okay. I thought maybe so.
Yeah.
Ian, are you telling us? Nope, not a darn thing. I don't know what that meant. Darn thing? Probably a darn thing she meant, I bet. Ian, that's why you're driving. You slept in this morning. No, you wouldn't have been celebrating last night. I kind of expect our friends in Canada. Oh Christ Almighty, I can't remember nothing. Mike and Diana to be late. I think they partied hardy yesterday. Yesterday was Canada Day. Hence, I have the flag up and the US of A flag for 4th of July. I didn't even know they did O Canada Day. And I didn't know it was yesterday, July 1st.
July 1st. I wonder what the significance of that is.
I think, I'm not sure. That may be when they officially declared their sovereignty and left the Commonwealth or whatever. Left the Queen's rulage. No, just a long week. Had a cold midweek and worked 12 hours Thursday. I'm glad I can't say I envy that.
Yeah, so we're prepping and getting ready for leaving out. I'll probably be on for a short time today, so.
Do what now?
I said I'll probably be on a short time today.
Okay.
I'll probably have to get going. But
Well, I wasn't sure you were going to be here or not because I knew you'd been busy all week.
I just thought
go fishing.
We fished yesterday and the day before.
Catch anything?
Peter caught one little one on Thursday, and then he had a nice fish hooked up yesterday. But it bowled down into the algae and wrapped itself up, and it was gone.
It was gone.
Yeah, just been a busy summer. We're getting it's going to continue through at least July, I think.
Wow. And I saw the Avs partying I saw a little bit of that on the news. They were looked to me like they were riding on top of fire engines and stuff, and were probably at some risk of falling off. That's just that was kind of what it looked like. Hopefully nobody did. Hopefully they didn't drop the cup from the top of a fire truck. They already flattened the bottom of it. Have you ever seen the Stanley Cup?
Oh yeah.
Well, if you ever watch a Stanley Cup final, they treat that cup literally with kid gloves, and firefighters were holding on to it for fear of life, for dear life. I bet, because once I saw it looked to me like they were a couple of sheets into the wind. It had one or two too many Colorado spring water cans. Anyway, the cups just they handle it literally with gloves, and it's always polished, and then this special person. And apparently, there's one guy whose job it is to take care of that thing. It's like a treasured thing up there. And during the photo shoot for the Avs championship the other night, one of the skaters come into the group to take his picture, and he fell down and dropped the damn thing. And I noticed when they picked it up, it was flat on one side at the bottom.
Actually, they dented it.
Yeah, they dented the bottom. At least it's got like a base plate it sets on. They change out the pieces in it, and when they get full, They got it up so high, and they put everybody's name on it. Every team member on a winning team gets their name put on the cup. So over time, it has filled up. So they've added new rings, and it's got bigger and bigger. But now they don't add rings. They take one off and put new ones in, and then keep that other one, I guess, at their museum or something. But I don't know how often they have to do that, but it's got a bottom on it that looks like a sheet metal or something, just a pan kind of thing. And I know that was flat on one side. I don't know if it actually flattened the cup or not. A silver cup, it might not be that hard to flatten.
What's that? Oh yeah, I remember that. I was.
1 minute while we talk to Mark Spousal unit. Oh, I'm sure, Ian. I've often wondered they let the players take that home with them. Like I said, they treat it so delicately all season long, and then they let the players take it home with them individually. I don't know how that works, but I've seen them with it in swimming pools. I've seen them drinking beer out of it. I'm sure it comes home dented quite often. I can't imagine it not. Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody actually drop it on the ice, too, Ian. I was sort of surprised.
That looks like apple cider vinegar.
No, it's just V8 orange mango juice.
Which would just be awful to take that big a slug of apple cider vinegar.
Yes, it would. Although I guess that's a new thing for people to try.
That's good for you, supposedly.
Did you say your dad was going in for cataract surgery this week?
After we leave, he went in before. He got one done already, and then he goes. And Mom's had both hers done.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. Brenda was just telling me yesterday that her mom's getting ready to have hers done,
and then
she's gonna do them both. I guess she's wanting to do them both at the same time. I'm not sure. That's a good thing.
I don't know if they'll do that or not, but they got Dad's going in for his second one on. Well, right after we leave.
Yeah, he's already had one done, right?
Next week. Yeah, he had one done a while back. And
just out of curiosity, what was the recovery time on the first one? I keep moving out of my camera. I guess I'll get back over here in the middle of it.
I don't know. I don't know how long it took. You just can't bend over and pick up weight. But I don't know how long it took. It's I think he's good now.
I don't know which one of them I like better. That one?
I like that one better because I'm a lot further away that way.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking. Smaller picture, but probably better background. Yeah, Ian, I bet they've had it on the local news. I would assume they would have. It was kind of funny. And as far as I know, they hadn't even started on the beer yet.
We have a friend that's a psycho hockey fan. Stuff probably got broke around his place.
Well, I didn't break anything.
Because he's a Blackhawks guy.
Oh, he may not even bother to watch.
No, he would have watched it.
It'd be like NASCAR racing. If once upon a time, if Dale Earnhardt had probably one of the bigger fan bases, and if he fell out of a race, crashed or something, most of his fans would get up and just leave.
Yeah,
they didn't care about the rest of the race. Carol, good morning. How are you this fine Saturday? Teddy, you want to say hi to Carol? He didn't even breathe heavy. Sorry, Carol. Maybe later. Carol, we're Ian's driving to work. He overslept this morning. Unless he's made it there by now. Hi, Tina. Oh no. I hope you're okay. And you can't see? Well, that's not a good thing. He's at the coffee drive-thru. That might help. What kind of coffee is your favorite coffee drive-thru in beautiful Colorado? Just curious. Well, Tina, if you can't see, you probably should. Maybe you need to not bother with this morning. I mean, I don't want you doing any damage to your eyes. Glasses, need glasses. Oh, okay.
That's a better answer.
Yeah. Brenda and I both talked yesterday. We said it's a shame if you go your whole life like we did, and I apologize to people who wear glasses, Mark. I can't imagine. It's so hard to get used to now needing them after not needing. I mean, I've been wearing mine for several years, but I seem like I need them more and more every day now. I can't read my prescription bottles. I can't. Good morning, John.
Hopefully you've been fishing, John.
Well, he went clamming a week or so ago because he sent me pictures of clams and him preparing clams in his kitchen, which looked pretty damn good. Pardon me. Looked pretty darn good.
Well, my no-count in-law that he's sitting over there somewhere eating. He was trying to have the big stick yesterday. He had a nice fish on for a while. Probably
Okay, is there
25, 26-inch rainbow.
How much?
Probably 25, 26-inch rainbow.
Oh, that would be a nice fish.
It was a toad. But we're
oh no, John,
Jack's out. Well, out. Funny you should say that because mine is today.
My Gluteus maximus is really hurting me today. I just took some Tylenol for it. Hopefully they'll kick in and help a little bit. Yeah, that is a big, and that's a nice fish.
I haven't been paddling my canoe much lately, and so we were out 2 days doing that, and both my shoulders are gone anyway, and so
you're as big a wreck as I am.
You just go to where you're favoring one body part that puts more strain on the other one, and you're just getting old. It just sucks. But
it ain't for wimps, buddy.
No, sir. But we got blown off the big old storm started rolling up over the thank you, babe. No, thank you. I still have some over here. But they got come rolling up over the ridge to the west of us, and it's like, okay, it's time to get off the lake. And we paddled like crazy, got back to where the truck was at, and just pulled the bow of the boat up on the shore, and here she come. And soaked us. And then as we were driving home, the rain turned to hail, and it was like quarter size stuff and beat the heck out of us. And yeah, it was a heck of a adventure.
That works too, Ian. There's another term we use around here a lot, but I didn't want to say that in mixed company or on the internet. Found her glasses. So she's a little better. I saw that bad storm over Wheatland yesterday. It was 70+ mile-an-hour winds into Nebraska.
Thank you.
That may be because Nebraska sucks so hard, but I don't know that for sure.
Utah blows.
Utah
And
blows.
Nebraska sucks.
It all comes across you.
Yep. You said there was a big storm in Wheatland?
That's what John's saying. Said they had 70+mile-an-hour winds. Do you guys get many tornadoes? Yeah.
Us here?
Yeah, in Wyoming.
Well, we get tons of them over there, but not here.
So on the east side in the plains there, you get more. I just don't ever hear much about them. And maybe because the country's so wide open, it hardly ever hits anybody. But
Well, we would see 20 to 30 a summer from the house, and they were always like F1, F2s. Thank God.
yeah,
But we would see them every summer. But you're right. There's just nothing out there to hit, so you don't hear anything.
yeah, that's what I thought. They probably just kind of went on through, and most of the time didn't hit anybody.
When they hit Cheyenne, they've had some big ones hit Cheyenne, and that you'll hear about those. But
Yeah,
they might have had to be. John might have been in Cheyenne when the last big one hit, went through downtown, and
well, he's seen them from the silos. 79 was a bad one, he said.
Yep, that was probably the one.
I bet, I'd have to admit that as hard as it might be to say, I believe dropping down into a missile silo, would probably be about the safest place you could be from a twister.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is it skips over the top and just keeps right on going. It might take your your chain link fence down, but I would suspect that everybody inside would be A-OK. I wonder if they've sold any of those things out in the Wyoming and Nebraska where there were so many. I've seen them for sale.
I don't know.
People build underground houses, and they actually have converted some over to housing.
They were all active when I was there.
Right. Well, foggy coffee. Coffee fogged my glasses up, not the foggy caused my glasses up. Coffee does.
Ian just found us a hawk.
Cool. I think I had one out back here yesterday. And because I had a squirrel on the wall, and he got flattened out and flattened himself out on the top of that wall and just laid there for the longest time. Okay, like his click, chat is on. I can now see and hear everything for the moment. All right, Tina, good job. He was just, how they flatten out when they're hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Although he wasn't very well hid laying there on that concrete, but he was flattened out. So I figured I had one here in the tree somewhere, but I couldn't see it. He must have seen it. We used to have a pair of red shoulders that hung around here in this neighborhood all the time. They nested here every year, but we haven't seen them in 2 years now. Yeah, I think this is the second season. They used to nest right across the road. In fact, one year they nested right across the road in the neighbor's yard in the top of a big pine right by their driveway. So they were right there with it all the time. I could stand in my driveway and see them real well. Good morning, Mike Cabral. Happy belated, but happy Canada Day, buddy. I've got your flag up. in the honor of Canada Day. I was waiting till you got here. I was waiting to see if you maybe got here before I started talking about old Canada. I just have a few slides I was going to go through about the 4th of July. You might be thinking of Atlas and Titan silos. Oh, I don't know one from another, John. So yeah, probably. Oh, okay, Ian. Well, that's a good thing. Open country's good to have. I didn't realize yesterday was Canada Day. I must confess, but I wanted to recognize it and welcome you guys in, or express some appreciation for it anyway.
And solidarity, and the best neighbors ever.
Realized I only know the first 5 syllables of Star Spangled Banner and the first 4 symbols of O Canada. So close. I can kind of whistle part of the tune, but I can't give you all the words. I always liked the part about "We stand on guard for thee." I thought that was a pretty cool line. I used to really. This is I know sort of reminds me of a joke I heard. Does Canada have a 4th of July? Yes. Wait a minute. Does Canada have a 4th of July? Yes, but they have it early on July 1st. Well, that works. Oh, Canada is forced. Oh, Ian, okay. I wasn't thinking about it that way. You're right. He says, "Oh, Canada is 4 syllables." So you got a good point there, Ian. Is Diana going to join us, Mike? Do you know?
Hey. Going on with my old camera here.
Yeah, I saw that, but I just didn't. I figured it was something.
Well, it's my anti-camera device, my duct tape.
Oh, I've shown you my. Did I show you my anti?
Yeah.
I was going to sell these, but I never did put them on the market. But this special Spy Guard.
Yeah.
I need to put a trademark on this from TP. I custom made this to fit my camera. Oopsie, he's walking in 30 minutes late. Does that mean at your place, if you're late, does that mean you have to buy sausage biscuits for everybody at work? That's a friend of mine. If anybody came in late, they had to buy breakfast for everybody, or at least everybody in his unit. Did I see your wife sit down behind you?
Who?
You. I thought I saw your wife. Somebody sit down on your right.
No. Over here?
Yeah.
Over here.
Over there.
Over there?
Yeah.
No, there ain't nobody here.
Oh, I thought she sat down in the chair there, not beside you, but back out of the way.
You might have seen Lillian. We got a ghost that's moved around with us a bit.
Oh yeah.
You might have seen the shades of Lillian.
Now, what's the history and the story behind Lillian?
Don't have a clue. I married into it.
Oh, you married into it. She travels with Shauna, does she?
I think she was removed from her perch in her old house over by Laramie. Is that where Lillian started up?
She was killed in the bedroom of the house.
She was killed in the bedroom of the house they owned in Laramie, and she's been following around ever since.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, that sounds like a story someday.
Well, she'd have to tell it.
Well,
But anytime something happens at the house that is unexplained, that's who did it.
I got you. Tina's a hockey fan too, but just understood it's I stand on guard for thee. For years I thought it was I stand on God for thee. I always wondered how you stand on God. Well, Tina, I think when I first heard it, I wasn't sure. I thought so. I mean, I guarantee you, there's people probably standing in every arena in the country when they sing it that says it wrong. Just be my guess.
At least it's early.
He's scared easily. Good one, Ian. Oh, Tina says her mom followed her from house to house after she passed. Wow.
Squirrel.
Turn the lights on, Ian. Turn the lights on, Tina said. That's bad, Ian. If you had to unlock the door for everybody else to get in, that'd be a bad thing. He said the techs do make the last guy in shop stop for breakfast. How do you know if you're going to be the last guy or not, though? Ghostly squirrels. Man, you missed it, Mark. We came up with all kinds of... Oh, he might not be able to hear me. He's gone. I'm going to... put this on. Move it over here. So I'm ready to do it. There's Diana. Like, she's not going to be all that impressed, I'm sure. I just threw together a few slides, but I wanted to get input from you guys while I had, we had an opportunity. So I did throw a few things together, which I'm going to go through pretty quick. So once we get started. Hey, Don, welcome. Howdy to Texas. Are you guys getting rained out down there? I know somewhere in Texas yesterday got slobber knocked. I guess it was Houston. They got a bunch of rain. For a small fee, I could probably make you a high-tech version of that'd be better than duct tape. Custom fit to your computer. Oh, he's still mute. You're muted. You were talking, but we weren't hearing you.
I was cutting you, but you weren't bleeding.
I wasn't bleeding. Not at all.
Oh, come here, buddy.
There's Boudreaux.
Say hi to all the folk.
Hey, Boudreaux. Boudreaux Campbell. Sounds like he solved his watermelon.
Yeah. All right. Go. Be gone.
Go chase
Something.
something. Something. All right, we got enough here for a quorum as far as I'm concerned. So let me throw these up here so I can show them. And I know Mark's got to go in a little bit. I'm whistling it now. I can't stop. Okay. Dum-ba-da-dum. Share. Green. That one. Da-dum. Okay. Most of you already seen this slide. This was my opening slide with two flags. I have a question for Mike, and it's getting hot, so I shut it off. Oh, you talking about beards? Who's talking about slobber knocked? Yeah, slobber knocked. You know that? Do you know that term? Yeah, slobber knocked. It's the thing. William used that term when he hit somebody really hard in football. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can do that. I'm missing something, John. You're saying it's getting so hot I shaved it all off. I see you warriors are holding out. You talking about beards? I didn't see what started that. She learned a neat new word today. See what an educational platform this is. Oh, my beard stays on year round, John. I haven't shaved this beard since my youngest daughter was born, and she'll be 40 years old this year. It's not much of a beard as beard go, but it's what I got. I mean, it could be a lot thicker, and it sure as hell could be a lot darker. It could be a lot darker again, but it's not. It's just got these two kind of dark streaks right here, and that's about it. That's all that's left. Educational programming at its best right here. Thank you, Carol. I always thought so. Oh, let me start this here slideshow and just so I can get through this relatively quick. It probably turned into a little bit more of a Flag Day show, but it's still interesting. This was, a lot of us always think of a Betsy Ross flag, but this is technically what most people thought our original flag ought to look like. It still had the Union Jack in the corner, which we got rid of pretty quick, but this was the Grand Union flag. But some of the Continental Armed groups flew that flag early in the Revolution. And this was another one that flew sometimes called the Bennington flag. It was from a battle and supposed to invoke the spirit of 76. They think it was carried at the Battle of Bennington, but they're not actually sure about that. I guess there wasn't any video live newscast that day. And this is the flag we think of most of the time. It's what most people call the Betsy Ross flag, which she didn't really sew, or at least she didn't sew at all. And 13 stars and the 13 stripes red and white. And it has a ratio. This is the key thing, because modern U.S. flags are supposed to be all kept to the same ratio, 19 to 10. So if it's 19 inches long, it's supposed to be 10 inches wide. Or if it's 190 inches long, it's supposed to be 100 inches wide. But they came up with that, I believe, somewhere around. Well, I may have it here in a minute. But anyway, this flag was used basically from June 1777 to May of 1795. And that's when we started adding more states to the mix. I've got a Betsy Ross flag. I used to fly it at rendezvous all the time. Mark remembers it. And it's a smaller flag. I used to hang it up here too, and I meant to today, and I forgot it. I was busy trying to get ready.
I just think it's cool you used apocryphal in a sentence.
I use what?
Apocryphal.
I like that.
That's a good word.
I can't give you a full definition. I can't tell why I pulled that out of some other stuff, but
everybody knows sort of kind of what it means.
And this was another flag that was used kind of in that same period. We had different people suggesting different things, and we really hadn't settled on anything. And this one's called the Hopkinson flag, and he claims to have created the first official flag. But as it turns out, Congress refused him the title because, in fact, a lot of people had contributed to this style and this design. But what he basically did here, if you'll notice, is he's laid out the pattern that we would go with from now on. The rows of stars, and they changed by the number of states. And I always wondered how we kept it even, but it turns out that it wasn't always even. I think I've got some more pictures of that. But here you get the 1910 distribution thing, and this is what our current flag. This has been our flag since 1965, I believe, official, or 60. Whenever the last state came in, which I guess was Hawaii. Not Hawaii. That makes me sound like a hick. Well, that fits, I guess. I thought this was kind of interesting. This was somebody painted this, and it's, I guess, their opinion of all different flags through the years. I've never seen any of these that had stars on them, with the stars making stars. I thought that was interesting.
Or the circles.
Or the extra circles, yeah. Now this one, I don't know if you can see where my cursor is. That one, that flag was actually, I did read about this. Is like an Army regimental flag that they carried for a while. I can't remember what unit carried that now, but I actually thought this was a quilt when I first saw it because it looks like it, but it says it was an oil painting. So, and you'll notice there is no, "Don't Tread on Me" official flag.
That would be a really cool quilt, but it'd probably be
It would.
difficult to build.
There's a lot of extra work if you go and do all those stars by hand. But here, what I was talking about was how we keep it even. If you look, some of these aren't even, the rows.
Right.
But they've divided them up to where they're about as even as they can get. I thought that was interesting. There's a star missing here, a star missing there, but they just had to work through the numbers. And then we get to "Oh Canada." Mike and Diana, this is for you guys. And this is their current flag. They've had several flags also through the years for celebrating today. And here's some of their historical flags, which include, French flags and, I don't know what all's on here now. There's the royal flag, which is, basically the Union Jack. And I thought there might have been a Hudson Bay flag in here. The Hudson Bay Company kind of wasn't official. Canada was never given to them so much. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been theirs technically, but these fur companies were granted by some authority licenses to go in and trap and do all the stuff and basically run an area. And in Canada's case, they pretty much had run of the whole place for a while. And the fur trade was such a big thing in Canada early on. I mean, it was here too, but it was really a big thing in Canada. And here's the Union Jack. And basically, once France was gone, this sort of became this was the flag for a while because they were, I don't want to miss something over here too, but keep me. Thank you, Don. Apocryphal of a story or statement of doubtful authenticity, although widely circulated as being true. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. When we had Hawaii and Alaska, which I believe was done at the same time. Well, I thought so too, Tina. But I was looking at the flag, and they were a couple years apart. The Hawaii flag came in 60, and then the 50-star flag came in. So there was a split there, and by a year or two. But I don't know the actual date, so I could be wrong. Okay. Let's see, where was Union Jack? Now, I thought this was kind of interesting. And look in the background if you can see it well enough. And those all are different flag designs. This is in 64. They had a 15-member flag committee in 64 to come up with a design for a Canada national flag. And I'm guessing this is when they, I don't know, Mike, can you guys tell us what do you guys call your, is Canada Day considered an Independence Day, or is it considered just when you became your own sovereigns? I mean, how does that work? If you've got time to talk to us about it. Don, it was obvious that you were a teacher's daughter, says Carol, the known teacher. Yes, Mike, the fur trade was huge. I mean, it started from Hudson's Bay all the way across, and a lot of Canada was, I won't say settled, although some of it was, but the major trade companies pretty much ran the show up there for a long time, at least in parts of Canada. I knew Hawaii was the last state, but I thought the official flag by congressional approval. That's a good question, Tina. I don't know. Surely back then they agreed on a flag. Well, anyway, they were working on a flag, and you can see in the background and on that wall is just covered with ideas. And the flags up along the top, somebody obviously took the time and trouble to make what they thought was their version of a good flag. Of course, we know now they ended up with the maple leaf. And this was the official proclamation from Elizabeth II. Or over here it says Elizabeth II. I guess that's in French for the Quebecois Confederation. Okay. The new maple leaf flag was made official by proclamation from Queen Elizabeth II on January 28th, 65. 10th of that year, it was inaugurated in a public ceremony on Parliament. I can't talk this morning, guys. I apologize. My tongue's sticking to the roof of my mouth. I thought this was a cool flag. I've often heard stories about beavers on Canadian flags, which brings me to the next question. But this was a proposal. In 63, somebody proposed this as a new flag. So I'm assuming the 15-person committee looked at this and, had to decide if that was a good flag or not.
Ian.
What did he say? Confederates, like the Duke boys. No, Ian, no. I don't know what they would have put the flag on up there. It probably wouldn't have been a Dodge. I won't say no. They might have had, I don't know, red green might have been their version of the Duke boys.
Building a van out of duct tape.
No, Mike, I don't think I got that flag. I was looking for another one, and I'm going to get to that, but I just put this up here. This was a little bit of how we celebrate, and this was just a picture of the famous Yankee Doodle painting, or what's commonly known as Yankee Doodle. I'm not sure what the Spirit of 76 maybe is what it's supposed to be called, but or maybe it's supposed to be called Yankee Doodle and became the Spirit of 76. Maybe that's how it works. And we do fireworks on both sides of the border, from what I understand. And here's some Canadian pictures from 4th of July gatherings on the left and fireworks on the right. Ian, is that... oh, man, I don't know if this is the picture I wanted to show. Is that on the picture in the right, if you can see it, Ian or Diana, or not Ian, Mike or Diana, that building that's got the spire on it back there, that could be a church, but is that the building that's supposed to be at Epcot and Disney? I mean, they've got a replica of, they've got some buildings that represent some of the important buildings, I think, in Ottawa, but I'm not positive. So if we substitute wait a minute. So if we substitute a squirrel for the beaver, we could have the official flag of Saturday Morning Shine. Oh, what an excellent idea! Yes, I encourage anyone who wants to come up with a design to send me in their ideas, and then we'll come up with we'll all vote on it. Or at least I'll vote on it. How about that? I've got some recent pictures and things we've looked at. I found a T-shirt. Was it a T-shirt? Somebody found a T-shirt that had a squirrel on it. Oh, it had or maybe it was just a sticker, but it had a squirrel in a house coat with bunny slippers holding a cup of coffee. I thought that'd be a good one too. Oh yeah, Ben. Okay. Let's see if I've got one more or not. And this was basically the end. So I put, red, white, and blue cupcake or a cake, which is what I'd like to have right now. And fireworks and maple leaves. And I think I saw, Diane, I saw you sent somebody something or posted something on Instagram yesterday. It was similar to this. I don't think it was the same one, but I saw the one you put. Now I have a question for our friends from the north. We can get rid of this first. I've always heard a rumor. Uh-oh. I hadn't saved something. Let me back out of that for a minute. Is the Tennessee Bear Nation democracy? Well, we try to make it so. I mean, we'd like to think it is, unless, push comes to shove. It's not the population's not that great at this point, so I don't know. I don't know what the voting count would look like. Which one, Tina? The squirrel? I'll be in ghost mode. Need breakfast and more coffee. Okay, Dawn. Thank you. Diana. Oh, I still got something Carol's posted up here. I'll have to start working on this squirrel flag thing. That's the Republic of Tennessee Bear. Oh, I like that, Dawn. Ian Tim wants us to think that, but I'd keep my eyes open just in case. I believe I would too, Carol. I wouldn't trust me as far as I could throw me. No, actually, I would try to be, I'd be a benevolent ruler.
Benevolent dictator.
Okay, I got a question for Diana and Mike, and they may already figured out what it is. But was there any truth to flags that went around for a while that had 9 beavers urinating on a frog? Suggestion for a Canadian flag. I've heard that for years. I even read something about it, but I could not find a picture of it. But I went to school with some Canadians a couple of times for airplane school, and they talked about it.
We heard about that at all the rendezvous where we had brothers and sisters from Canada talking about that flag too.
That was when Quebec was wanting to secede or leave the Federation, I guess. Is Shelley's in there? Where's Shelley? Oh, hey, Shelley. She is making. Well, Brenda's sort of in here, Tina. She was earlier. She was saying hi and good morning, but I've got a bad feeling that she has making breakfast for the family. I have a feeling she might have fallen asleep. She didn't sleep good last night, so if I knew she wasn't listening for sure, I'd tell you how I know that. But it was 9 beavers drinking beer. Okay, well that's okay. Yeah, she can make that flag. Well, I'll get to work with her and see if we can't do that. Surely we could find a good squirrel and she could embroider. Carol says you need to set a good example. I might have missed something there. Diana baked red and white cupcake. Whoops.
I'm supposed to be
Damn.
keeping you straight.
Yeah, I saw that. He's been trying to do that for a long time. That's Diana baked red and white cupcakes for Canada Day. Well, see, and then what you don't eat for Canada Day, you can put some blue sprinkles on and call them American for 4th of July and give them to all your, friends south of the border. Well, I just wanted to ask, other Canadians and see what they said about that flag, because that was, like I said, something I heard about. And I actually did find a story, an article that was posted in a paper or magazine that talked about it. So apparently it was something that went around in comedic circles, or I don't know, maybe, I don't know about newspapers up there. Maybe. I think Mike said not that he's aware of. Yeah, I'd like to have some red. I'd take a red and white cupcake right now. So since Brenda hasn't answered, I'll tell you why I know she was falling asleep. She burned my biscuits this morning.
Oh,
I smelled something. So I yelled upstairs because she was going to bring me something down. And when she did, she had them covered up. I should have known right then there was a problem. So they were a bit hockey puckish. And wow, Shelly, you posted that, and on one page of my screen it looks different than it does on the other way. Yep, my biscuits were burning. That's from a Toy Story movie. My biscuits are burning. Bacon, Southern pecan waffles, and eggs. Oh my goodness, Shelly, you got room for one more? If Brenda finds out I did this, she's going to be embarrassed, but she'll probably kill me. See what I mean? Listen. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't eat that part. I dug the center out while it was soft enough to eat, but the rest of it was a little bit. Felt like something landed in my head. Did you see a bug?
No, I thought Brenda was throwing something at you.
Well, the door's closed. I don't think she can reach me. I'm eating, and this chat is making me hungry. Keep those waffles warm. I'll be right up. Yeah, she's close enough. She might run up there. I put some stuff, Carol. I pulled up some information about things people do on the 4th of July. And I also have steaks marinating and made cherry crumble and butterscotch chip oatmeal cookies. You're killing me. Tina says, well, that's true, Tina. She could be up there throwing stuff at me in her sleep. That is very true. Keep those waffles warm. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm not keeping up with some of the funniest stuff. Oh, Carol retracted something. Anyway, Carol, this question's for you. I read somewhere that in Detroit has some really huge fireworks displays on the river up there. They still do that? And have you ever been? Anybody else ever go to, their towns or areas have big fireworks displays? Knoxville used to have some pretty good ones. They still have pretty good ones. They used to save their money for what they used to call Booms Day, which was on Labor Day, or Boom Day. Boom. I guess it was just Boom. I don't know if it might have, maybe it was Booms Day. They used to do it off a bridge downtown, and it was pretty spectacular too, but they've quit doing that now. I'm living dangerously. Yeah, I always live dangerously, Carol. That's my middle name. Stupid. Yeah, Shelly's she's got her weekend going well. I'm afraid I'm not getting that kind of treatment. It's only dangerous if she finds out, Carol. And right now, I think she's asleep, so I suspect she won't find out. That's just my guess, but that is unless some of my good friends here decide to send her a note. Can see Carol says she can see 3 different. You hear that coffee pouring? Sometimes if I'm quiet on here, this is a big old squirrel. This microphone picks up so well that I can hear the clock ticking across the room. If I'm real quiet, I listen, it just sits there and go tick, tick, tick. And that's the only clock in there that ticks. And it's up there on that wall across the room by the fireplace. It's a good microphone, I think. Anyway, Carol said that you can see 3 different fireworks displays from the bay. Sheboygan. Oh, Shelley is saying this. Sheboygan, Mackinac City, and St. Ignatius across the bridge. Well, that's cool. Do they time them together or separately so you can appreciate all of them, Shelley? Or is that asking too much? We used to go to Loveland, Colorado ones, and for smaller town, they had 30, 45-minute long show. That's pretty good. And Carol says she went a couple of times as a child. We like to go to closer ones where we can watch them in our car. Well, that's a good point, too. That's one thing about going. We used to go downtown to the Knoxville fireworks, and getting out of town in Knoxville was a big day, big thing. It's always a pain. Well, come on down, Mike. You come all the way down here to celebrate, or somewhere to celebrate 4th of July, then you ought to get a good one. Shelley says they used to do firework displays by Cobblestone Farm. There used to be a couple of the really big fireworks companies that put on huge displays right here local. And they did shows like at the White House and all around the country. And then I don't know if they got out of the business or they had an accident here in town. One of their factory storage buildings blew up. I don't think they ever did find out why. And then I think they may have had an accident at one of their shows. But in Knoxville, they used to shoot them off the bridge, and they had a barge out on the river they would shoot them off of. Hatbox Ghost, welcome. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Loveland. Where is that? Oh, in Colorado? I don't know. I suspect you guys out there, I don't know right now, but I've got a feeling that there were a lot of fireworks displays maybe canceled because of the drought, how dry it's been.
We have one in our little town here. But then it's a free fire zone for the public, and the citizens of town do a much bigger display than the town does.
I bet they do.
It gets plumb western, warring nations, neighboring neighborhoods, and
a real battle.
It's pretty festive.
Mike said they had a big family dinner yesterday. He made homemade burgers on the grill with sausages and their I think that's post saying Diana made her famous potato salad. Trying to get my wife to make some of her famous potato salad. At least it's famous to me. I read somewhere this morning, I assume it was current news that they're like in California. I don't know about other states, but there was 2 or 3 fireworks companies that they found doing something involved in some illegal activity, let's just say. So they had shut down several fireworks in different towns because that company was doing the fireworks. So I'm thinking that means their personnel are probably not currently available to do the show. Is what I'm thinking. All the good fireworks shot off by people here are bought in Wyoming. Is Wyoming got a lot? Are they free for fireworks? Is that an open thing?
You can buy fireworks everywhere here.
I read about another state that's like that. That's just wide open. It's one of the. It might even be South Carolina. Somebody's got. I mean, Tennessee's very limited. You can only buy fireworks in Tennessee 2 weeks prior to the 4th of July and the Christmas New Year's holiday. I guess it's technically for New Year's, but everybody says Christmas. But that's the only time you can legally buy fireworks. Now, there are, or used to be, several big stands open along the interstate, or not stands, but actual stores, and they were limited on what they could sell during the year. And no longer can you get the really good stuff like we did when we were kids, M80s, cherry bombs that really go boom. So they're
they've got big Black Cat stores up here, Black Cat fireworks, and they sell everything.
Can you get? Do you know if they can get M80s?
Probably get law rockets and bazookas and whatever you want.
Bazookas and law rockets. That'd be interesting.
It just get. I mean, we've got a nephew that he lives for that free fire zone 4th of July deal, and they like all the little blocks and things are having their own, like Tina said, probably a competition on who can shoot up the most.
Yeah.
It's significantly larger than the fireworks display the city puts on, which is a good one, but it's not anything as impressive as the Publix.
Well, for considering you live near a town of 93 people, I'd say that in itself is probably a big deal.
Well, this would be the next town up the road, which is 3,000.
Oh, okay.
But they do one here in Opal too that's pretty good. So,
Tina, I am surprised about that. Because I don't know how is the Northeast like that in general, or is New York an oddity in that regard? Because I just assumed that fireworks were probably hard to get up there because of population densities and things like that. Of course, where you're at, it's not so bad, but or at least where I imagine you're at.
Ian's talking about those fireworks sound like artillery.
Well, Mark just said they were.
They're big ones.
Man, I'd like to get some of those.
You can still get the the one that you had to pay $90 for.
Wow.
Get ready to set that one off.
You better get out of the way. When I was growing up, one of my buddies' dads would go to either North Carolina or Virginia. I can't remember which. And you could buy M80s and cherry bombs there. And if we saved your money up, he would bring us back some. Back then, they were like 50 cents a piece or something, which was a lot. But you could buy a gross of them for, which is 144. We knew those numbers because it was, fireworks related. You could buy, I can't remember what the price was, but they would put together money and try to get like a gross of them. I never could afford that many. But, an M80 is about this long and almost as big around as a stick of, well, maybe half the size of a stick of dynamite. And it's supposed to be about a quarter of a stick of dynamite or an eighth of a stick, something like that. They're pretty impressive. And cherry bombs were just round and big and loud. But my uncles used to do a thing where they'd put cherry bombs in the center. They had an old wagon wheel, which was probably an antique and worth something at one time. But they'd lay it out in the yard on some blocks, and they'd put cans and stuff on top of it and put a cherry bomb down in the hole and just shoot that up into the air, which was kind of, when I was a kid, I thought that was great fun. Hi, Kay Atwood. Good to see you. How are you this morning? Long time no see. Yeah, that is kind of weird, Tina, I have to admit.
Well, you remember that cannon Dad built?
Oh, yeah.
In machine when he was going to machinist school a real cannon.
Is that where he built that? I didn't realize that's where.
Yeah, he turned that barrel and we shot that every 4th of July. And one year we set Granny's whole yard on fire with that thing.
Set the whole yard on fire, huh?
Well, shooting black powder and a aluminum foil ball, and that powder come out of there, and we were set up down there at the kind of the base of the hill by Dale's house, and it was dry that year, and it caught the yard on fire. The black powder did.
Had a little bit blowing out the end, did you?
Yep.
Did he ever cast anything, a lead ball, and shoot out that thing or anything? What was that
No,
like
we
a
just
1 inch bore?
The 1-inch bore, we just shot aluminum foil balls. But you could like
Oh, I got
blow a hole through the wall of the house with it easy.
Yeah. I remember shooting it, but I can't remember what we put in it. That's probably what we used.
Well, we used to go over those ball fields where we had the rendezvous in Jonesboro
Yeah.
and shoot that over there.
Has anybody seen anybody shoot an anvil? Do you know what I'm talking about, Mark? Shooting
Well,
an
I've
anvil?
seen videos of them like blowing them up in the air,
Yeah, that's what but
setting them on a powder charge, and then
Yeah.
seeing
They
how
set 'em
far
on.
they can pitch an anvil.
yeah, they do that. There's a couple of places around here that still do that.
That's a nice, safe sport right there. Anvil throwing.
Yeah, blowing an anvil up into the air.
It sounds way too much like a roadrunner and coyote adventure.
It brings to my mind one of my favorite Pat McManus quotes: "Poof, no eyebrows."
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. Good morning. Adventures by Dave into the house. Good to see you. When I was growing up, you guys weren't there yet. I don't think, but when they first started Jonesboro days, it was kind of a bit of a Wild West show in itself, I guess. And as semi-rowdy teenagers, we used to walk around and put M80s or cherry bombs in secluded areas around town with what we called a time delay fuse, which was basically a cigarette burning. Stuck the fuse up in the cigarette and then let the cigarette burn down. And, you'd be long gone before it went off because, they were illegal in town anyway. It was an interesting time back then.
A time delay fuse.
That's what we called it. It worked.
I know. It's like a candle in a box of matches. You light a candle and set it on top of a box of Strike Anywheres, and eventually you make a fire.
Yeah. Kay Atwood says the Scottish have some interesting games. They like to toss things like stones. Yeah. In fact, this weekend, I guess, is for us in this area at least, is a big Scottish. I believe that Grandfather Mountain has their big Highland games this weekend, I think, if they're doing them right now.
Well, that'd be a good one to go to.
Yes, I always wanted to go to that one because it draws a big crowd and a lot of guys. I've seen them do that, Kay, at a small event in Nashville, where there was just 2 or 3 guys, demonstrating basically, but they were throwing telephone poles and big rocks and what else is it they throw? Well, I'm not sure what I can't remember what the sheaf is. Cabers are the poles, and I know about the stones. I mean, the whole thing's, I guess, evolved from actual tests of manly strength and that sort of thing, but as it always happens, all that stuff turns into competition. So I'm
I
sure
was hoping that was a typo and it was sheep.
sheep. Well, it could be.
Because throwing a sheep's got to be a good time.
Considering where it was at and the number of sheep are in, Scotland, I'm surprised it's not sheep. Oh, Mike says, sorry, we're not big on blowing things up or shooting cannonballs in Canada. Well, you guys are maybe you're more domesticated than we are. Sheep throwing.
And Kay said a sheep's a small bale of hay, but it'd be cooler if it was a sheep.
Oh, okay, Ian. Bales of hay on a pitchfork. Gotcha. But sheep would be so much more interesting. Not to the sheep, maybe, but I can see the USS PCA or whatever it is, and PETA and everybody else coming, animal welfare coming down to see what in the hell you're doing with those sheep. They might have thrown the sheep before they made.
You just rig them up with a little chute, and you give them a toss, and they deploy their chute. No big deal.
And then you butcher them and make hot haggis.
Yeah.
Diana says that'd be way cooler if it was sheep.
Make you some
It
wool
would be.
clothes.
Oh, I got you, Kay. Kay said something else a minute ago, and I was talking, so I missed it. What did she? Oh, about the Scottish games they have in Greenville, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Greenville, South Carolina. I love Scottish games. I think they're fun. I want to go back and I want to go back when I can wear a kilt. Now that I know where I, have some ideas about plaids I can wear. Of course, or a sheaf, I guess. Sheep would be harder, and then you would have PETA out there. Yeah. Oh, I guarantee you they'd be out there at least the second year. Because it'd
Like
be a little
ugly
bit
on an ape.
Do what?
They'd be out there like ugly on an ape.
Yes, I would.
Like a chicken on a June bug.
We could do the Les Nessman thing and throw them out of a helicopter. I thought they would fly.
Turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement.
And I thought they could fly. Not them turkeys. So what are you into today, Dave? You got something big going on down your way for the 4th of July weekend? Maybe not today, but I don't know if we'll go anywhere or not. Like I say, fighting crowds is not necessarily my most favorite thing in the wide world to do.
All right, brother, man. I'm gonna have to.
You gotta go.
Yep.
All right. Well, you have
see you, everybody. We'll see you next
time.
We'll get more time here later in the summer.
Okay. See you, buddy. Be
All
safe
right.
out
Love
there.
Bro. Later.
Bye. All right, folks, you're just down to me. I don't know what kind of meanness we can get into. I'll probably cut this off here in just a little bit anyway. I'm kind of hurting. Ian said he went to a circus a few years ago before they stopped the elephant. It was hard to enter the venue. They pesky. Mark has had a lot of company lately. They've been babysitting the grand youngins 2 or 3 times lately. I think all the adults are taking the opportunity to get some vacation time in and letting grandpa and grandma take care of the youngins. That seems to be what they're doing. And then Mark also had was one of his I think it was one of their daughter's in-laws. I'll get this mixed up. Was in town, so they decided that it'd be really fun and good if Mark could take him fishing. So that was the guy that was sitting there. If you were here for the early part of the show, that was the guy who spun the computer around and showed he was there from out of town. They've been going fishing and I don't know where he was from, but let's see. I got something going on about PETA here. Let me back up and catch it. Oh, PETA, I got you. Pancakes on Blackstone today. Oh, that sounds good too, Dawn. I wondered how you like your Blackstone. I've seen those and always we had something similar to that years ago. It's much smaller, probably nowhere near as thick. If the Blackstone's done right, it's probably got a really thick top, or a pretty thick top anyway. That would be the way to do it. Have any of you guys ever seen the Cowboy Cook on YouTube? He's been on other things. Ken Rollins, I think's his name. He actually sells a big wood burning stove, and it's got a huge kitchen top that similar to what a Blackstone has in that regard. Yeah, he probably should, Ian. He should probably get paid as a lot of things he's done in his life. Mark's although he don't suffer fools all that well, probably in some ways, he's an excellent guide for just about anything. You fishing or hunting, either one. If you're into those sort of things, he's a good one to go to. If you want to go out in the middle of the night and go herping, as they called it, and I grew to call it, which is getting out in your pickup truck full of empty coolers in the back. Well, one might have some adult beverages in it, but you go out and drive the roads and catch snakes all night. That's kind of what I thought, Don. Have you guys had it for a long time, or is this the new wave? Watch him all the time. He's out of Oklahoma, I think. Does a lot with he does. He's really good cook. Mark's actually met him, John. And I think you're right. I think he lives just north of the Texas line there at the Texas-Oklahoma border. Mark goes down there with some friends, and they have a pig eradication of sorts every spring. I don't know what time of year they go, but they go down there specifically to get rid of some of the hogs on the property that are tearing it up. And of course, every year that's an ongoing thing, because the more babies they have, the more pigs you got to get rid of. And no suffering fools. Thank you, Ian. And Mark goes down there and they shoot pigs, and which is really a big deal. I mean, I don't know if we've probably talked about that here, but pigs can do so much damage. Feral hogs can do so much damage to property. It's unbelievable. But anyway, and Ken Rollins has been there before to cook or come down and hung out with him. So he's taught Mark a few little tricks of the trade, like how to make really good hash browns. Mark learned to make hash browns from Ken Rollins, and so now he makes them at home. And I've not eaten them yet, but they sure look good. I've seen them. And he makes some great beans, or sound great anyway. And I like his coffee process. That's a cool thing too, if you've ever seen it. Anyway, that's getting far abroad from the Blackstone, but I've seen Blackstones advertised and wasn't sure if they'd been around for a long time or if that was something new, a new brand. Back on Mark as a guide, I'd about guarantee you if Mark takes you someplace, there's something there to catch. He wouldn't be going if there wasn't. If he didn't already know or think there was a good chance of catching something. Never met him. Oh, let me see. Okay, I got things over here. Okay, there it is. Never met him, but he was a National American Legion convention. Oh, Wounded Warriors Project. Huh, back in 17. That's interesting. Oh, cool, Don. I wouldn't mind having one either. The other thing I'd really like to have is a green egg. Friends of ours had one. They really liked it. Everybody I know that's ever cooked in one really liked them. And there are some less expensive versions out there now. And not all necessarily made in China or someplace. There's some, they're expensive. Green egg by itself is pushing, I think, depending on the size, it'll be pushing 1,000. And that doesn't come with any utensils or grates or anything. You got to buy all that stuff extra. It's real easy to get $1,200-$1,300 caught up in one pretty fast. That's probably bottom of the heap. And Ian says, I bet that's true. Seems like kind of got nose there and knows he wasn't sharing the name. No, he didn't share the name of the hunting spot, but it's on private property. I know where it's at. I actually could show you on a map where it's at, but he's got a picture of it on his wall. He painted a picture of it. What's he call it? Oh, they call it the altar. Because, it's where you go to pray. He makes mean biscuits and gravy. Yeah, I think I've seen him do that too, John. I've watched several of his videos, and I've been meaning to go back and watch more. And, I guess I'm not positive, but I think he makes a living doing that. I think he goes to different shows. Mark says he knows for a fact that he goes to roundups out there in different places. And some of the big ranches out there in Texas, probably Oklahoma too, still have the old-fashioned roundup where they bring in all the cattle in the area and they brand the calves and castrate the bull calves and all that kind of stuff. And he's come to those deals because they usually last several days. And it'll be several ranches together all pulling their resources in and doing all their cattle. And he'll come to one of those and cook for them while they're there, just like the old-fashioned chuck wagon. And I'm sure he makes a pretty penny on doing something like that. Plus, I'm pretty sure he goes to other events and things too. Pretty interesting guy. That's a lot of work. I used to be camp cook when we do rendezvous and stuff, and I love to do it, and I wouldn't mind doing the chuck wagon thing, but it is a lot of work. I mean, it takes a lot to keep a bunch of people fed and then keep things clean and keep up with all of it. We used to have a motorcycle rally here locally at the club I was in, and it was a BMW rally kind of thing. But one of the things people liked about our rally was we always kept a pot of usually white chicken chili on for anybody that stopped in or needed something to eat during the day. We cooked, that was on 24 hours a day. And you could always stop in there and get a bowl of chili or soup. Sometimes we had soup also, but we always had the white chicken chili. That was sort of the club. What's the right word here I'm looking for? Oh, shoot. Our gastronomical symbol, logo. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What is this? Kenny Waltwins do all types of Blackstone and cooking. Oh, okay. I'll have to check them out too. Oh, they started as Disney vloggers. That's interesting, Kay. Where are they at? Do you know? Club. Yeah, it was a club staple. Yeah, but it was iconic too because it was just the guy that made it had his own recipe, and that's what we always went by. And and it was really good if you like that sort of thing. Carol's going to be driving and listening, daughter. We'll hit the farmer's market before work. Oh, man, I'd like to go to the farmer's market, pick up some fresh cantaloupes and maybe a fresh watermelon. Uh-oh, we're making Diana hungry. Might go fix that woman some breakfast. Oh, you said something about Mark in. Yeah, he wasn't. I said he wasn't naming that hunting spot. You're right, but he's taken me hunting a few times when I'd get out there for a couple of weeks to visit and hunt out west, different spots, and whether we got anything or not, we always saw plenty of critters. Oh, that's interesting, Kay. I'll have to check them out. I don't think I have. I don't know if I've seen them before or not. Should pay them and not hit them. Yeah, he does. Well, if you're talking about Ken Rollins, yeah, he sells barbecue sauce and his own seasoning mixes. I guess, and probably sells T-shirts and hats and that kind of thing. That seems to be the way to go these days. You'd be amazed how much money I guess people make on that kind of stuff. Not necessarily YouTubers, although some do, but I sometimes I've wondered, for example, if Harley Davidson doesn't make just about as much money on their logo on T-shirts as they do on their motorcycles. If you ever look around at most bike rallies, you'll know what I mean. And it's always sort of been a conundrum to me. It's the one place where you can see thousands upon thousands of rugged individualists, but they all have on the same black T-shirts. Go figure. It's hard to say they stand out in the crowd. Let's just put it that way. So anybody else got anything special they do on the... Well, I'll go back and talk for a minute. Growing up, we had some traditions that we did, and or at least that became things we did. For example, my mom's side of the family, couple of her brothers and nephews and nieces, they had horses, and we would go over to the Kingsport, Tennessee 4th of July parade every year. We did that for years and years, and they would ride their horses in the parade, and so we went over and watched the Kingsport parade for years. And wow, I don't remember what street that even went up and down now, but I always loved doing that, and I always wanted to ride in it with them, but I never got to. Ian says I always thought Harley Davidson makes more on accessories. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people wearing Harley T-shirts and that never even said on a Harley had a leg across one, much less ridden one. But that's beside the point. But yeah, they make a lot on accessories and that kind of products. Trust me, they're. I've heard numbers one time. It's unbelievable what they make on. Everything you can buy. There's almost nothing you can't buy with the Harley Davidson logo on it, and I'm talking everything from T-shirts to underwear to beer to water bottles to glasses and end tables and furniture. The string goes on and on. The Harley shirts are for those who want Harleys but just can't have to get one. Well, there's a lot to that, Shelley. You're correct. There's a lot of folks out there who think they want to grow up to ride a Harley, so they get their Harley T-shirts. And it's a big deal for Harley riders, and I guess other people too. Anytime they go to a new town, they go to visit the Harley shop to get a new Harley T-shirt from that store in that town. And they do tend to be branded, Harley Davidson of Knoxville, Tennessee kind of thing, or Harley Davidson of Denver, Colorado. So they all have to have one of each if they can get them. You have a friend who is a psychologist. He says that bikers who are all rebelling against society, but they all dress the same. Jeans and black T-shirts. That's exactly right, Kay. That's what we used to say. We never could figure it. We'd go to Daytona Beach for Bike Week, and you'd hear all this talk about, like I said, the rugged individualist, but the rugged individualist was lost in a sea of other rugged individualists, and they all had on the same clothes. Dirty jeans, a black leather vest, a black T-shirt, black bandana around their head, and most of it was branded Harley Davidson. On Mama's side of the family, most have Harleys and Jeeps. I'm not laughing at family, Shelley, but that seems to go together. I'm not a huge Harley person. I've ridden Harleys. I've ridden quite a few, demoed quite a few just to see what they're like. So I can't say I've never ridden one. I'm just not a big fan. I grew up back in the day when Harley Davidsons were truly junk. In the early 70s, late 60s, they were bought out by, what's the name of that company? I want to say AMC. That's not right. That's the theaters. AMF. Yes, thank you, John. And they were really junk back then. So I didn't want one because they really broke down a lot. They weren't not reliable at all. I knew people that worked on them way more than they rode them. And I've read stories about, parts didn't fit the way they were supposed to. And it got really bad. So I never really wanted one. Good morning, Tony. Fantastic Chronicles. Oh, you're at the Columbus Zoo. Oh, man, I want to go. I'm jealous. Brendan and I watch the Columbus Zoo on TV all the time. Go say hi to the bears for us. They got some cool bear displays and a big new lion. I think they've got the new lion, relatively new. I don't know when the show came out. That would be an excellent thing to do on a 4th of July weekend. And what did Shelley say? We could have bought a Harley, but we bought a tractor instead. Well, almost the same thing, Shelley. And Ian says, exactly. They used to think that when all the punks goths dress the same as each other to be different. It's a weird thing about being different, as you tend to flock together with other different people, and then you kind of all look alike. I bet that was more useful. I'm telling you, you can, you never say you can't hook a plow to a Harley. Yeah, Tony, say hi to the animals. I'll bring you some later. Are you going to be on? You going to do a video? Are you on right now, Tony? And it has been very useful digging an underground green. Oh, you've got an underground greenhouse? That's fascinating. And to clear out the waterway here on the property. Cool. And John says, hey, Tony, it's a nightmare here. Traffic jams, no matter where you go. I don't know if he means that or not. 1 p.m. he'll be on. So we'll be gone before then. I know there's other people on today. It's a big weekend, so I know Resort TV 1's on. I know the Monarch Butterflies are out at Disneyland because they were on last night when I was going to bed at 1 o'clock my time. Tony, I'm sure you know who Jack. Oh, my mind's not working this morning. When I get fiber optics, I'm going to do a tractor stream. Cool, Shelley. I'd watch that. What kind of tractor stream? You mean doing work? Your tractor? Are you going to get out and show us tractors all in the area? That'd be Jack Hanna. Thank you, Tony. And he was from around here. He grew up around here near Knoxville. I always wanted to get out and play on a backhoe. Yeah, he was an interesting fellow, Tony. He used to come back here every once in a while, and usually he'd be on TV or something, or they'd catch him and do an interview. But I don't know if he still had. I don't think he still had a house here or anything. His folks had property here for a long time, and I don't know if they still have it or not, or he does, or somebody does. All right, tell Dad we said hi, John. Thanks for coming in, buddy. See you later. If your back's bothering you, I hope it gets to feeling better real soon. I trust me, I understand that. Nothing fun about back problems. And you never know till you really been there, so. Can't seem to get things put up. Yeah, and I hope your dad, that's right, I hope your dad's doing okay, John. I believe he had COVID last week, didn't he? You waking up to say hi to Carol? You want to say hi? Let me see what's going on with your nose there. Have to check his nose every once in a while, Carol. His sister beats up on him sometimes. Got a Kubota, bucket, and backhoe. Oh, man. You got a tiller for it and a bush hog. Well, you're all set to go. You got about everything you need. They make a big lawnmower deck that goes pull behind it too. That's different than a bush hog. It's lower and does more of a mow kind of thing. That'd be a lot of fun. I always wanted to work one, like I said, with a bucket, a backhoe. I never had it. I had a friend in high school that was training back then. He had an uncle who had a backhoe and did jobs for like the VA center, Doug Graves at the mountain home, and did things like that. And he learned how to drive a backhoe at a young age and was pretty good with it. My father-in-law had equipment, but do you think he ever let me run any of it? No. He let just about everybody else. That's another story. We won't go there. I have a message from somebody. Let me see who real quick. Oh, I have an appointment? Oh, my goodness. That's this week, and I forgot all about that. Well, hang on, folks. Let me make sure I've got that on my calendar. I do not have that on my calendar. Oh, I'm glad they sent me a notice because I didn't even have that written down. That's because you stole his daughter away on the back of a motorcycle. Well, Ian, you could be right there. There may be more to that than people really said. You feel like getting up and saying hi? You feel like getting up and saying hi? Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? He's finally started showing interest in critters outside the door. He sits here and birds and the squirrels don't really interest him. He just lays there and he don't get excited. But if a chipmunk runs across the back porch, he has to get down and run and go look at the window and hunker down, like a cat does, like he's going to get out there and catch it. But he can't get to it, can you, bud? I keep trying to tell him if he caught it, it'd bite the crap out of him. I know that from experience. Yeah, and you know what, Ian? There were a lot of conflicting rumors in that family about the guy that stole the daughter. He was a motorcycle guy. He had long hair. Her mother, I think, believed he was the Antichrist. There's a lot of things. I guess it really is a wonder we married. Hashtag pouncing, yes. Come here and say hi. Oh my goodness. Say hi to Carol. Say hi. I wish you quit having that look on your face when I get you up to say hi. What's going on? Why don't you like to be friendly anymore? If nobody's here, you're just always up in my face and, wanting to get up here and look around, see what I'm doing. There, you big rascal. That was Teddy. I need to weigh him. I think he's put on a couple more pounds. Just maybe. Nope, not having it, Tina. You're absolutely right. Not today. I mean, at least he didn't bite me or tear my arm off. Not that he's a mean cat, but when he's asleep, he doesn't like to be got up, woken up. If he wants to get up here, he'll stand up and let me know usually. But I hate for him to be so rude and just ignore company all the time. Right, Teddy? Well, we got a hair out of place. He's got to fix that before he. No wonder he was upset. Carol called you Yeti. Why, EDDY. He gave you a funny look, Carol. But he forgive you. So does anybody else have any plans for the weekend? Any celebrations you're going to that we hadn't talked about? I've talked about shooting anvils. I've talked about going to the parades when I was younger. And then we went to we did a lot of picnics. When Jonesboro Day started up, that was such a big deal in our local community that pretty much for several years, 4th of July was all about that. And going down there, yeah, he's a Yeti. He's a Bigfoot. There's no doubt about that. And Jonesboro is the oldest town in the state of Tennessee, so somebody got the bright idea that they should figure out a way to benefit from that, and so they started doing an annual 4th of July celebration, just called Jonesboro Days. When it first started up, it was really, like I said, it was a bit of the Wild Wild West, but there were a lot of arts and crafts thing. People came in there, and then they had a lot of people would come in and barbecue and cook and sell food, raise money, which was kind of cool. There was some storytelling started there, and eventually all that led to the National Storytelling Center built in Jonesboro, and I believe now it's maybe even called the International Storytelling Center. And that became a big deal. ETSU in Johnson City, I believe, I don't know if it still is, the only university to offer some pretty high level degrees in that kind of cultural history and storytelling, actually. Ian is taking 2 full days off. Maybe I'll grill some meat, nothing fancy. Well, good for you, Ian. I'm taking the whole weekend off. At least that's what I'm calling it. But I'm off every weekend, so being on. Brenda said, "What?" Brenda thought I should take the day off, and maybe I should have, but from this. But I told her, I said, "Well, if I don't do that, what am I going to do?" I said, "I don't have anything else planned." Yeah, it is. It is famous. And have you heard about it? It became a big deal for a while. And man, I heard some really good storytellers down there from time to time. And a really good friend of mine actually had a degree in that from the university there. So which 2 days are you off, Ian? Monday and Tuesday, or I don't know if you work tomorrow or not. Yeah, me too, Tina. That's why I said that I'm off every day. It doesn't really matter. I'm taking the rest of mine off too. If I can help it. Uh-oh, what's out there? Uh-oh, that little bird? You gonna turn around? He turn you around so you can launch off. Well, I was wrong. He does. There's a wren out there on the ground by the door, and he's watching that pretty close. There's a small bird hang out, down there looking for bugs and such under the leaves that blown on the back patio and whatnot. Well, that's good, Ian. I'm glad you're getting a couple of days off, and you started out today as a short day since you came in late. Oh, you know what, Ian? I bet they do. I need to check that out. I've never thought to look. Podcasts or something I don't think about all the time. I mean, I have several that I try to follow from time to time, but I never have thought to look for that. I need to do that. Uh-oh, who'd you hide? I didn't know that. Oh, you hid Mike Cabral by Brenda Pruitt. Brenda, what are you doing? Thank you, Tina. I'm not. Why would she hide him? That had to be an accident. Sorry about that, Mike. I honestly didn't even think she was awake. Makes me wonder if her hand's on the keyboard up there. I think you're right, Tina. I may have to do that. Hang on just a moment. Okay, Tina, situation handled. It should be under control now. And she sends her apology. She didn't mean to. She did have her phone in her lap, and apparently her hand hit it. We have to provide our own hood music, humming Love Boat theme. Mike's all good. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate your understanding. No, she didn't do it on purpose. She didn't even know she. Only 9.5. That's right, Ian. Only 9.5 hours. Free Mike. You know what? We could start, Ian. We could start something, like the Free Britney thing. We could start the Free Mike protest, hold up signs, do all that. Anybody that's ever been a mod, which is the whole chat with, is actually getting hidden. So, yes, absolutely, Ian. If you've ever done it, you've hit somebody by mistake. She wasn't even meaning to do it. And Mike says he's used to Diana doing it to him all the time. Yeah, I get deleted, or my messages get muted or something. And I think you're right, because sometimes I know I tell Brenda things, but apparently she doesn't hear or see me. So, Mike, I think you're absolutely correct. Wives have that power. Among men. Well, just dropped my phone. Fortunately, it wasn't on the chat. I'll get it after I'm done. That might have to get down on the floor, and that might take me a week to do. Well, guys, it's noon, and as much as I'd like to stay here and talk, I'm sure you guys have something to do. I've never protested anything outright. Count me in. Okay, Don, we can do that. We'll do the Free Mike. We'll start a Free Mike campaign and see if we can get near as many people as they got for Free Britney, because I personally think it would make about as much, or probably even more, sense to Free Mike than it did Britney ever. I mean, who could get so worked up about freeing Britney? Oh, well, I won't go there. Anyway, it's noon. I think I'm going to shut her down. I'm starting to get really twitchy. If you've not noticed, I'm having a hard time getting comfortable, so I'm going to have to go lay on my side for a little while or something. Fourth, Mike, I hope you guys had a wonderful counter today. I'm going to try to bear in mind now from now on that you guys have a special day right in front of our special day. So, well, I'm glad, Ian. We'd have got you the whole 2 hours if you'd been there. But you were on the road, so it wasn't so bad. See you next time, Mike. Diane, thank you guys from north of the border. Thanks everybody else from around you. KK, you have a wonderful weekend. Mike, I don't know if Dave's still here, but I hope everybody has a great and happy 4th of July. Everybody be safe out there. And I don't think I'm as popular as Britney Spears. Well, maybe you're not yet, Mike, but we proper protest placed strategically could change all that. You could become as famous or more famous. And you're just as famous. You're more famous to us, Mike. That's very true, Carol. Thank you. Or not Carol, Kay. All right, guys. I'm going to do it. As I usually say, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we'll see y'all again here next Saturday. I really appreciate your time. Love y'all for being here. Thanks for supporting me and being here hanging out. Remember, we learned a new word today, which I can't even say right now. And thank you, Dawn, for putting it in there. But everybody have a great 4th. Be safe out there, and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.